Welcome to the Eagle Orchid Scottish Masters at Montrose. It's week 4 of the EuroPro Tour and 156 players are here to compete for the £10,000 first prize. The tournament will be held on the Meadow Links course, challenging the players with undulating fairways and fast greens, made more difficult when the wind whips inland from the sea, a combination of all the classic links ingredients. First, let's hand over to our reporter Kit Alexander, who's with our resident pro, Johnny Morgan.
From last week, very different conditions here at Montrose, a links course, the wind is up. How different is this for the players?
Well, you're crying, mate, and I have to say, that is how windy this bad boy is, isn't it? I mean, we've had it over the years where this wind has stayed really dormant on this golf course, and the guys go out there and they can tear it apart. They really can. I mean, in modern day standards, with the equipment that they got nowadays, they're carrying the ball further, they're taking out the bunkers, blah, 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 and they're able to run them on the greens, giving themselves loads of chances. But when the wind is like this, my good, it turns 62, 63 possible into, well, 82, 83 possible.
So there we go, the perfect links test for our players here at Montrose.
The conditions are certainly going to be challenging, and as Scotland braces itself for one of the worst June storms on record, the tournament director has news on the final round.
We've had to cancel the third round due to the high winds. Storm Hector's come and it's getting worse. It was borderline unplayable first thing, but balls were oscillating and moving slightly on the greens, so we had to delay the start. We had a couple of delays trying to see if we could get anything going. We even had plans for a shotgun start if we were running out of time, but the winds are getting worse, balls are moving on the greens. The forecast is for it to get much worse, so we've had to make the call to cancel it, I'm afraid.
So the tournament turns into a 36-hole competition, placing a greater emphasis on those round one scores. Craig Farrelly had the best of it, a 63, leaving him on 8 under, 2 ahead of Daniel Owen. Chris Gain in there on 5 under. Big group on that score. John Ross Galbraith, who's been doing so well this season, he's among the players on 4 under. I'm joined today by the 2004 PGA champion Scott Drummond. And Scott, you played this course many years ago.
Yeah, I did indeed, Michael. Played the Boys Internationals in '92, I think it was, a long time ago. I'm sure the course hasn't changed. Looking very, very dry at the moment. Looks like the end of summer.
This is Jack Ewell. He was out in 30. He's had birdies on 12 and 13, so he's 8 under for the round. And if he makes that putt, he'll need 2 birdies in the last 3 for a 59.
Yeah, incredible scoring. Absolutely incredible. He's on fire today.
68 yesterday for James Ruth, and he's picked up another 5 shots on the round today.
Approach shot here. Good distance control there.
And Kit's on the 15th.
Well, Jack Ewell is putting a super round together today in the second round of the Eagle Orchid Scottish Masters. He's right up there in contention for the tournament, and he's put a lovely shot into 15 feet for Eagle here on the 15th. It's downwind, but there's not a huge amount of break with it. He can be reasonably aggressive. If he can hold this with the uncertainty over tomorrow's third round going ahead, he's in a really strong position going into the final 3 holes.
Well, this is a big putt here for Ewell. He's had it going all day. The question is, how aggressive does he get on it? He's put a good roll on it, but slightly tentative. Guaranteed birdie, which keeps his day going.
9 under for the round. 3 more birdies, he can get that £59,000 for a 59.
Yeah, wouldn't that be good to see? No Ruth at 18. Par putt here. And this will be worth much gold.
Shrugged off that opening bogey to enjoy a run of 5 birdies and 8 holes around the turn. Picked up a couple more late on, and despite that untimely bogey at the 16th, it's a 66 for Ruth, and on 8 under, he's the man they've got to chase.
Now here is Ewell for birdie. Long one here. Up and over the brow. Has he judged it? Yeah, very good from that distance.
Now one of the most experienced players on the EuroPro Tour, Chris Gain. He's having a good day as well.
Yeah, played a lot of golf with Chris over the years. Very accomplished player. Solid shot in there, but a long one. Now Yule needs this one for his par.
Hello, pal.
Yeah, just a little tester. 59 almost certainly gone now, but he can certainly still win this.
Well, let's take a look at this 17th hole, 418 yards, par 4. Could be a deciding hole in this tournament. Absolutely arrow straight, this hole. Not a bunker on it. Very, very undulating fairway. Sometimes these holes which are dead straight are not the easiest on the eye. Once you get up around this green, as we said, no bunkers, lots of heather and gorse to the left, big slopey runoffs at the front and to the right. So distance control and accuracy is going to be a key approaching this green.
And Ewell is approaching this green now, and unbelievably when you consider how well he's doing, this is his debut EuroPro event. He only turned pro last October after finishing second in the South of England Amateur at Walton Heath.
Yeah, it really is some performance in your first EuroPro event. Bit of work to do on that one. Now Gain, long birdie attempt on 14. Well, he's given it a chance. Oh, that was a good roll. Burnt the left edge.
Now this is to go 10 under for the day, but it's a big ask, Scott.
Yeah, indeed. He will be looking to roll this one up close. Just got a little bounce there through the fringe. And that's a tester for him in these closing holes.
Gain was out in 33, all pars so far on the back nine, this to continue that sequence.
Yeah, looking very solid, Chris. Very experienced, as we said.
Celebrating a quarter of a century as a pro this year.
Yeah, a few of us reaching that milestone. Now Ewell. Well, that's so disappointing for him. Going to be his first drop shot of the day. Just taking his time with this little one. But after an electrifying start to the day, that is a big disappointment.
Well, despite that, Jack Ewell still on top of the leaderboard, 10 under par, 2 strokes clear of James Ruth, who's in with that 66, Chris Gain, who's got 4 to play, and Craig Farrelly, the overnight leader, who hasn't hit a ball yet today. Let's hear from our sponsor, Neil Armour.
7 years now we've been sponsoring. We've seen a few guys win our Scottish Masters event and go on to play on a higher level tours. It's great to see that. The standard of golf is amazing. For me personally at this level, it's incredible, some of the golf that's played. It's just all positive, all great. It's all going in a good direction, which is congratulations to the EuroPro Tour and the PGA and everybody involved in organising it. Long may it continue.
Jack Ewell in with a chance of a winning debut as he comes to the last in the Eagle Orchid Scottish Masters at Montrose. Welcome back to the final round of the Eagle Orchid Scottish Masters here at Montrose, the 4th event of the EuroPro Tour season, and we could be seeing a breakthrough win for a young man by the name of Jack Ewell. He's just had a bogey on 17, but despite that, he's got a 2-stroke lead on 10 under. James Ruth is in on 8 under par. Chris Gain still has 4 holes left to improve on that score. Craig Farrelly yet to start. And Mike Bedford was in the first group out, shot 66. He's in on 7 under par.
Well, let's take a look at this final hole here at Montrose. Just 363 yards. A very short par 4 these days, but lots of bunkers, well placed up this fairway. The question is, do you go for it? Do you beast the driver and get close? Do you hang back and leave yourself a shot in here for some accuracy? Pin is sort of front left today, well guarded with bunkers, and Kit is on 18 with Ewell.
Ewell has found the fairway trap on the left here, but he might not be that disappointed when he gets here. Not a hugely steep lip, only 85 yards to the pin, and it's a great angle at that left-hand pin as well, with the wind coming off the left. He can still knock this close and get a birdie. The one thing he has to be careful of, if he lands short, it will spin back off the front of the green. He's got to carry this all the way to that pin.
He bogeyed 17 as well. It's a tough finishing stretch here, and he's learning that the hard way.
Yeah, this is not the easiest of shots. You've got to get the contact, which I don't think he has. No, and that is possibly going to run into the front trap.
Way too much sand.
Yeah, you could hear him say there, way too much sand with that one.
They don't need us, Scott. He's doing his own commentary for us.
Yeah, man of many talents. Now Gain, a talented man on 15. He'll be looking to hunt down this championship. He's in prime position.
Only 2 par 5s here at Montrose.
Just see how dry that is. Hits the rake there. May have just kept him out of the trap. Could be a fortunate move.
Now you're just trying to limit the damage now and post the best target he can.
Yeah, he stayed just short of the trap. But that looked like a complete duff there.
A stroke of luck for Chris Gain there. His ball hit the rake. It would have gone in the second green side bunker, but it's just bounced back just short of the first one. And it's a good job he's left-handed. If he was right-handed, he'd be stood deep in that bunker. But now he's got a nice simple chip, a lot of green to work with. It is downwind, so he needs to be a little bit careful with it, but this is a really good chance to make birdie before the final 3 holes, which are playing really difficult.
So important to keep his cool now, isn't it, Scott? And I don't think he did on the previous shot.
No, I think the mind would be racing a bit. Bogey 17, out of position on 18. Well, he's played a good shot from there, but he's going to need that to save a bogey. And just drop 1 shot here at the final hole. Again, as we heard, a little break by not going in the sand. Needs a little soft one here onto the surface. That was quick down there with that breeze, just pushing the ball on.
Gives himself a chance to birdie this hole for the 2nd day in a row. Now Ewell, this is for a 64, and he's got to regain his composure because he can still win this, you know.
Yeah, it's been a great day, great debut appearance, but that was a poor roll. The head probably a little bit scrambled. Taps that in for a double, but that's 3 shots gone in the final 2 holes.
Yeah, 5 birdies in a row to complete a front 9 of 30. He was 9 under for the day after 15 and on course to post a great target, but that horrible finish could be very costly as Ewell joins James Ruth in the clubhouse on 8 under par.
Back to Gain on 15. Just over 15 feet here for birdie. He's been putting well today. Oh, another one. Touches the edge of the hole. Fails to drop. Just a par.
6 of those in a row now. Hasn't dropped a shot since his 5 at the first. Joe Brooks going well for the 2nd week in a row. Represents Hanbury Manor, former venue of the English Open. His favourite course, Kiawah Island Ocean Course, where Rory McIlroy won the USPGA and of course was a Ryder Cup venue back in '91. 68 yesterday, and he's had 4 birdies already today with no drop shots.
He's having a very solid day. Approach shot here on 15, lofting it very high into the sky. Look at that chasing in here, just needs to slow down. Long range attempt that will be for birdie.
16 is the last and longest of the par 3s, and it played the hardest of them yesterday.
Yeah, it really is a tough par 3. Look at the undulation on this green for Gain. Got to get it high enough. And that's a little bit weak, and he's got work to do there.
So Gain misses an outside chance to get to 9 under. Brooks has a chance to do it here.
Yeah, what a time this would be to make eagle. Great view of this putt, just moving a little bit from his left. Go on. Fraction short on pace. Should be a tap in 4, birdie 4.
Bit of a tester for Gain to continue this run of pars.
Yeah, this one should just move a little bit from right to left. Just got to be positive with it. Yeah, super stroke there.
Now, before we see Joe Brooks play this hole, let's hear what John makes of it.
We come to Montrose every year. It's a gorgeous place. It's in cracking condition. It's really hard for the players to play, and it comes to 16, 235 yards. Well, you know, I've had a hole in one here, pin on the left-hand side, and every time I come here, I've got to have another go, haven't I? I don't know if this is going to be enough. A 3-iron. The wind is just too strong into my face. I think it's going to be driver for the lads. Ideally, wind off the right. You need to be coming in from left to right, but the wind is so strong going out to sea, virtually impossible. I'm probably going to have to ride the right edge of the green and try and use all the contours to get it anywhere near. Now, just watch how easy I'm going to hit this driver. It's going to come out so low. I tell you what, it's right at it, chaps. It is right at it. Oh, it's hit that upslope. I don't know if it's gone through the green. It's got to be all right. Think safety play. What a hole, 16. 235 yards long. Monster.
Now, that horrible finish from Ewell has brought Gain and Brooks into the group, now sharing the lead on 8 under, which includes Farrelly, who's yet to start. Brooks came here looking to build on finishing joint second last week at Studley Wood, and that's exactly what he's doing, Scott.
Yeah, he is. This one looks to be going left, though. Going to use the slope. Look at that. Come on, feed on down. That's a great shot. He's got there with an iron today. Not a driver like John was with his demonstration there. It was playing severely long. Now Gain on 17. Important approach shot here.
This was actually the only hole he bogeyed in yesterday's 66.
Well, that's a cracking shot in there. Look at that, pin high, 12 feet for birdie.
Brooks going in search of his 6th birdie of the day. This would be some putt.
Yeah, roller coaster putt here. Several breaks on it and down the slope. Just didn't move as much as he thought it was going to. 3-footer down the hill there.
Chris Gain has won almost €500,000 on the European Tour over the years, and he almost won on it, just missing out when he finished 2nd at the Madeira Islands Open back in 2011. 2-time winner on this tour. Here he is, only 7 birdies on this hole yesterday when it played the hardest on the course, averaging half a stroke over par.
Another silky roll there from Gain. That's 2 in a row. Gets him to 9 under.
Very, very good putts last week, mate.
It'll be quite something if Brooks gets around here without dropping a shot, especially given that the conditions aren't the easiest. But he still might.
Yeah, that was a good 2-putt there. Safely negotiates the 16th. Now Gain on 18. How's he going to play this one? Looks to have gone with the iron. Just try and position it in the fairway, avoid the bunkers. That is the key with this tee shot. You can see how dry it is and how bouncy it is.
He's the outright leader now, and another birdie here at the last would really post a decent target.
Am I good to move?
Brooks on 17. We saw Gain coming in from a similar position, get it close. But this one is a bit left. Is it going to come back? Well, hang on a minute. He's going down the path now. Come on. Oh, that's actually finished in a reasonable spot compared to where it could have gone.
Now this is Craig Farrelly, who started the day leading by 2 after his 63 yesterday.
Well, that is an incredible shot he's hit there. Not quite sure what happened. Massive bounce when it landed. Almost over the cliff. Now Brooks, little bump and run here, little linksy shot. Back into the wind, just coming up a little bit shy.
Kit is on the opening hole with Farrelly.
Farrelly's had a bit of a shocker there with his opening approach on the first hole. It came in low, hot, skipped right the way through the green, as you may be able to see in the background. He does have a smile on his face though. It's inbounds, but still not ideal. He's got work to do for the par. Coming out of that rough, but he's got a lot of green to work with, and it's back into the breeze. If he can get away with a 4 here, that will be a lovely little bonus after what was quite a poor second shot.
He actually started pretty well here last year with a 67 and was right in contention in the second round until he dropped 4 shots in the last 4 to miss the cut by 1. He's messed that one up, Scott.
Yes, not the start he was looking for. Put himself right under pressure. Now Gain, prime position here on 18. Just a controlled wedge. Usually very good with his yardages here, Chris. Oh, and that is an absolute stunner to finish.
Well, a birdie finish around here would be some achievement.
Yeah, he could be posting a new figure for us. Now Brooks, we saw his little chip and run. Just about 8 feet here for par.
Yeah, great, but
Solid putt, very good. Keeps himself bogey free. Farrelly opting to go for the putter here off this very dry, burnt area. A very tricky shot though to judge. It looks to have made pretty good work of it, but look at that run on now.
Let's go up to the last, where Kit is with Gain.
That's an absolutely stunning approach in there from Chris Gain. Even better given how much the wind really gusted up just as he was about to hit. He's now got 2.5 feet for a birdie finish to be the first man to post 10 under par after 2 rounds.
Yeah, I think Chris really showed his experience there, keeping it safe off the tee, leaving himself an ideal yardage in, playing this wonderful shot, and that's a 3-foot birdie putt for Gain.
Very similar to yesterday for him. Again, he makes 6 birdies. Again, just the 1 drop shot. So it's another 66. And on 10 under, Gain is going to be hard to catch.
Now Farrelly, this for bogey. He's had a nightmare start here at this first hole. This will settle him down a little bit if he can roll this one in. Go on. Yeah, very good. And he would have taken that after his 3rd shot. Left him a long way from the green still.
Now at the other end of the course, Brooks has to hold this to catch Gain at 10 under.
Well, it's not beyond the realms. It's just a controlled wedge in here. Hangs on to the edge of the green.
Well, Farrelly had to hold a decent putt just to drop 1 shot at the first, and he's got more problems here at the second, Scott.
Yeah, it's all unravelling a little bit. Just needs to get a couple of solid shots in, really. He's giving himself a chance there.
Brooks's chance of winning is gone, but this is for a 65.
Yeah, all these putts important, especially on the final green. Set it on your target line. Oh, just looking for that one to move a little bit from his left. Just didn't. That'll be a par to finish.
Needs this to avert a bogey start. This is what you call a nervy start when you've been the leader overnight.
Yeah, and it just shows what can happen on links golf when you get some breeze blowing and the fairways are so dry you can get well out of position. That one just touches the right edge and doesn't drop. That's another bogey.
And we'll watch Brooks tidying up here. No dropped shots on the card for him. That takes some doing around here. 66 is 2 better than he did yesterday. He joins the group in on 8 under, 2 adrift of Gain. Brooks on course for another high finish. So Chris Gain, 10 under par in the clubhouse after back-to-back rounds of 66. A 66 also for James Ruth, but he finishes 8 under alongside Jack Ewell and Joe Brooks. The likes of Hilliard, Robbins and King all hoping to catch that target that's been posted by the left-hander. Chris has made a big gain with those 2 closing birdies. Now it's the waiting game for him as the rest go on the chase at Montrose Links. Chris Gain sitting and waiting in the clubhouse at the Eagle Orchid Scottish Masters, hoping his total of 10 under par will be enough to win this title, the 4th event of the EuroPro Tour season. But Gary King might have something to say about that. He eagled the 6th to get to 10 under par and match Gain, but he's since given one back. Still though, with 10 holes to go and only 1 stroke to make up, King is still very much in the running for this title. This is Steve Robbins, back in 31 yesterday for a 66, and he's improved his score by a couple more shots so far today.
Delicate little approach there. Great control on that ball. Getting ever closer. Very soft indeed. Now King. Here he is on the 9th. Second shot. And he has made a bit of a charge. So he will be looking to keep the pressure on.
Something magical about golf in Scotland, Scott, isn't there? Especially on a links.
Yeah, when you get some half-decent weather, it's about as good as it gets, I think, playing links golf in Scotland. Now Robbins down the slope. Yeah, just gave it enough. Straight in the front door with that one.
Let's go to the 9th with Kit.
King has just trickled off the left-hand side of the 9th green here, but he's only about 25 feet. He's in the apron. I expect him to putt it. These are firm and fast links fairways after all, but he's going to have to be firm with it. It's uphill into the breeze, and there's just a little bit of moisture collecting on the greens now as it starts to drizzle around us.
And if King could somehow make this putt, he'll be out in 31.
Yeah, that would be a superb front 9. Like Kit said, got to be aggressive with this one. Up the hill. Brilliant try. It's a very solid front 9. He'll just have that little 10-inch tap in there for his par. He'll be pleased with his work on the front 9, I'm sure.
Let's get some more from John now, this time at the long 15th.
Well, I can just see the 150 mark and I'm just past it, which means at 555 yards this par 5, I've hit it over 400 yards off the tee. No surprise, I mean, it's hard as a coffin nail, down an absolute hoolie, and it's left me, well, a really intriguing second shot. Now, the boys, all day long, it's sand iron, pitch and wedge, but the conditions are so hard and fast, down the breeze. Can you stop it? I don't think you can. I really do believe your instincts take over, and now you've got to see the lie of the land and play that chip and run shot. Because as we come down here now, I'm going to show you, you've got the big bunker on the right hand side, you've got this humongous ridge which runs just no more than 20-30 yards short of this green, and I'm thinking I've got to pitch it probably halfway between me and the flag already with a bumper run. I mean, I've got the pitch and wedge, I've got a 6-iron and a 7-iron, and I'm thinking honestly I'm just going to pitch it just here, use all the contours and run it up on the green that way. Now I'm going to go with the 6-iron, back of the stance, just ride near that bunker, get it drawing with the wind, get it going down there, and hopefully I judge it to perfection. Not going to be easy, but I think it's a safer option. Here we go, back of the stance, hands forward, bump and run. Now baby, work your magic. Up and over the ridge she goes. I tell you what, that could be gorgeous. That's going to now bend from left to right, obviously feed its way onto that green. And you know, you ain't going long.
Yeah, and as Robbins plays 15, I got to mention 20-year-old amateur Will Porter from Carnoustie, former Scottish boys champion. 7 birdies and an eagle today in a 67. So he's going to finish probably inside the top 10.
We see that approach shot there. Just a firm bounce, just through the back, no trouble though. Should be a straightforward up and down for birdie.
You might remember King won twice on this tour in 2015. He moved on to the Challenge Tour following season and won there as well in Italy on only his 3rd start.
Yeah, just coming out of the slightly wispier rough there, just turned that one over. Short of the heather though, so he's still okay. Now Robbins, we saw him just trundle through the back of this 15th. He's going for the little chip and run, pitch it onto the green, get it running like a putt up the slope, and he's judged that pretty well.
King's put himself in a really sticky situation here, missing the green left. He's short-sided. The ball is going to be way above his feet in the rough. He's almost going to be trying to hit a flop shot, but with a baseball-style swing. It's going to take some serious skills to pull it off, and even then, he's probably going to need to hold a decent putt for his par.
Yeah, it is an awkward stance more than the lie. He's just got to get his commitment here, just keep the speed up. And no, he's just caught that off the top of the blade, I think. Got under it too much. And I think that's in the sand.
Robbins has played in all 3 events this season before this. Only made 1 cut, and that only earned him a share of 47th place at Harleyford, so big improvement on the way today.
Yeah, good up and down there. Solid birdie.
And gets to 9 under, where he joins this man.
So King, after that flop shot that didn't quite work out, another little delicate chip. Oh! Well, he would have fancied that, even though the speed was too much. Could have dropped.
Well, he's tapped that one in for his bogey, which means that Gain has re-established that 2-stroke lead. 3 of the players can do nothing about it now. Among those who are in on 8 under, 3 others still can, but Steve Robbins unlikely to, as Kit can tell us. He's in the bunker on 18.
Robbins has really got his work cut out to make a closing par now. He's in the fairway bunker, 98 yards to the pin. I'm not sure he can get it all the way, so what he's got to be careful of, do not go in that front bunker. Stay on the green/brown stuff and just give yourself a chance of getting up and down for par. At this stage, with tomorrow's 3rd round in doubt, it could be worth a lot of money.
Yeah, the last we saw of Robbins, he was birdieing 15 to get within 1, but he then bogeyed the 16th, and after a par in 17, he's having problems here at the closing hole, Scott.
Yeah, misjudgment off the tee. Should have kept the bunkers out of his range. He made good contact on that one, but as Kit said, he's not going to reach. He has left it on the brown or the green stuff, so a chance for an up and down.
Now, our first look today at the man who won the opening event of the season and who may yet win this one as well, Paul O'Hara.
Yeah, he's put himself in with a chance. Needs to make some closing birdies. Is that one going to get thrown back onto the green? No, too much pace in that. Look at it. Whoa, stays short of that long stuff, and that looks like it could be a bit messy there.
The 11th is the longest of the par 4s on the course.
A little bit of drizzle coming down now. Umbrellas up for these guys, going to make it a little bit more tricky. That's another quality shot. Oh! Can you believe it? Burnt the front edge of the hole. And King continues to mount a charge.
Well, Robbins' chance to win is gone, but he can still grab a share of 2nd place potentially if he can get up and down here at the last for his par.
Yeah, it's not a bad effort. Just over 15 feet though.
The week after that win at Frilford Heath, O'Hara played in the PGA Championship at Wentworth and had a chance to make the cut after an opening 71, but followed it with a 76 to miss out.
Yeah, he did, and that's a very good shot there though.
Gary King's been around a good while now. He turned pro when he was still a teenager, and as we mentioned earlier, he knows how to win tournaments. He's won twice on this tour, and of course he had that victory on the Challenge Tour as well. 3 holes and 1 in his career. Many of you had, Scott.
I've lost count actually, Michael, but I know that I had my first one when I was 9 years old.
Oh,
so
wow.
Got me hooked on the game. Yeah, little tap in there.
Yeah, and gets King back to within 1 of Gain, and he's still got 7 holes to play.
Now this is a massive putt for Robbins here. With the state of play, he's in that cluster of guys at 8 under. He won't want to drop below that. Come on. Oh, and that is agonising for him.
Yeah, his chances of finishing in a share of 2nd just slipping by there. King followed that birdie on 11 with a par at the short 12th, but a few problems here at 13. And a few more now, Scott.
Yeah, that was obviously a nasty lie, having to go sideways out of the bunker. One of the worst feelings when you're playing away from the pin.
I mentioned O'Hara's missed cut in the PGA. Well, he made the best of it. He went back up to Scotland that weekend, played in the Pro-Am at Bishopbriggs, and won it.
Well, that takes some doing. Loves the game, loves to play. Now King, we saw him coming out of the bunker a bit sideways. He's got this for his par. Well, he's given that a bit too much of a go, and he's got about a 6-footer there now for bogey.
Such a promising start today for Robbins, going out in 33. Bit of a mixed bag on the way back, and he wasn't the first player to be caught out by that tough finishing stretch here on the way to a 69.
Now King for his bogey. Again, they're all big putts, but this is a real big one. Can't afford to drop 2 shots. Yeah, safely in. And he needs to regroup now for the last 5 holes. Final push.
Yeah, that's 3 bogeys in 7 holes now, and although there was a birdie in the middle of that, King is moving in the wrong direction. So it's Paul O'Hara now who represents the biggest challenge, looking for his 2nd win of the season. He's 1 behind and he's still got 3 holes to play, but it really is such a tough finishing stretch here, as we've seen a few of the players find out. Struggles for Gary then, but still a chance for him to finish up as the king in Scotland. It's heading towards decision time in the Eagle Orchid Scottish Masters at Montrose, reduced to 36 holes by the weather. Chris Gain has been sitting in the clubhouse for a long time on 10 under par, but still a couple of players out on the course who could yet catch him and deprive him of victory. Paul O'Hara looking for his 2nd win on the tour this season. He's parred 16 to stay 1 behind, also a par at the 14th for Gary King. He's got 2 strokes to make up over the closing 4 holes. But it looks as though O'Hara's chances are coming to an end right here, Scott.
Yeah, this is his 4th shot. Got to hold this for a par. Obviously, he had some troubles working his way up here. He's played that nicely, but that will be for a bogey 5. And his championship race is run.
And it's all good news for Gain really at the moment, because things not going quite to plan either back on 15 for Gary King.
This is also his 4th shot. And with that tough stretch of 16, 17, 18, Gain is well and truly in the driving seat. King disappointed with that one.
You know, there's £250,000 on offer for anyone who can win 4 events on the EuroPro Tour this season. Paul O'Hara came here looking to take the 2nd step towards that, but it's not going to happen now, and that was a very resigned walk after that putt. Double bogey for him.
Yeah, killer blow there on 17, but he'll be back. More tournaments this year. He'll be challenging, I'm sure. King also with his troubles. This for a par on 15 to keep his chances alive.
Well, he can still get to 10 under with 2 birdies in the last 3 holes, and let's not forget, Chris Gain did exactly that.
Yeah, that was a brave putt there.
So O'Hara just playing for 2nd now, and he needs a birdie here to possibly claim a share of that, and it looks as though the wind is getting back up towards the end of the day, Scott.
Yeah, conditions certainly getting more challenging. O'Hara just needs to keep it out of the bunkers here. The guys who've found the fairway bunkers have struggled, and that's a good tee shot there.
We saw King hole a decent putt on 15. He needs another one here on 16.
Yeah, this incredible tee shot to get this close on 16 today. Fairly big swing on this one though, and he's misread that.
And that effectively means he's now got to emulate Gain by somehow birdieing 17 and 18.
Yeah, disappointing putt there. Really should have given that one a go. He'll be fuming with himself at that. Now O'Hara, 2nd shot to 18. Can he get one in close here? Controlled wedge, pick up a birdie and get into that pack of guys on 8 under.
Well, he'll have his work cut out from there, but a par should be enough for him to finish as the leading home player, so that's always nice to do when you're playing in your own country.
Yeah, be a solid week. Now King, 2nd shot to 17. As we said, he needs 2 birdies. And he's given himself an outside chance there.
King has to match Gain's birdie finish to tie him atop the leaderboard at 10 under par through 2 rounds. And his next task here is a 30-foot birdie putt on 17. So he's given himself a chance. Can he do it and make this incredible finish a reality?
So here we have Paul on the 18th. He's got about a 20-foot putt, little bit up the hill, slightly breaking to the left. After making double on 17, it'll be interesting to see how he reacts to the 18th.
So Joe Brooks auditioning there, either for Kit's job or for a part in EastEnders.
Yeah, well, he's got the accent, hasn't he? Now King, crucial putt here, clutch putt's got to go in. Give himself a chance, come on. That's a valiant effort.
But it leaves him needing a miracle at the last.
Yeah, Yeah, he's going to need to do a Robert Gamez and hole a wedge.
Or Dustin Johnson, of course, although he didn't need to do it the other week in the St Jude Classic.
O'Hara now, just outside 18 feet for his birdie. He shaves the edge of the hole.
Well, he was on the charge, picking up 5 shots and 4 holes until a bogey at the 9th stopped him in his tracks. Got the momentum back in the middle of the back 9, but it was the double bogey on 17 which ended his chances of catching gain and claiming his 2nd win of the season.
This is it for King, 123 yards on the 18th. He's out of the first cut of rough. That pin is over there on the left. The wind is off the left and into the face. Can he hole it for a 2 to tie the clubhouse lead?
Well, we've seen some dramas over the years, and here we go. Can King produce something here? 123, controlled wedge. It's asking a lot. He's eyeing it down. Oh, it's a great effort though. 6 feet for birdie, but not good enough to force a playoff.
So the last of the contenders slips away. Gain is the winner, but King still has this to be 2nd on his own.
Yeah, this will be a nice one to roll in. Great win for Chris Gain, and an agonising lip out for King. That would have broken him out of that huge pack on 8 under.
So in the end, it's going to be a 2-stroke winning margin. Gary King got off to an absolute flying start, which saw him catch Gain early on, but all quite disappointing for him after that. In the end, he sort of ran out of holes to make up the deficit and has to settle for a 68 and a share of 2nd. As the day went on then, nobody could catch Chris Gain's total of 10 under. Jack Ewell was 11 under with 2 to play before a horrible finish, which leaves him sharing 2nd with James Ruth, Gary King, who as I say got to 10 under at one stage, and Joe Brooks, who's joint runner-up for the 2nd week in a row. As ever then, let's hear from our champion. He's talking to Kit.
Even when the wind was a bit lighter over the first 2 days, the course has still played tough, very firm and fast. What kind of a challenge did it pose for you?
Yeah, exactly that. Firm and fast and windy. It's very hard gauging distance control, bounces. You know, there was an element of luck like there always is on links courses, and that was just heightened with how firm and fast it was. You know, I had some lucky bounces, I had some unfortunate bounces, as I'm sure everyone else did. It's just I was lucky to come out on top.
What did you do so well to compile that 10 under par total over 2 rounds?
I made a change to my putting grip about 3 weeks ago, funnily enough at Frilford, and I felt really comfortable. I'm a great fiddler with my putting. I've got God knows how many putters in the loft, and I'm always in and out of the loft changing, but I made a switch with my grip and I felt so comfortable with it since, and I've actually putted really nicely this week. You know, I think that's been the key. I hold some nice putts when needed.
And Gain's win, added to decent showings in all of the first 3 events, takes him top of the order of merit by a small margin over Paul O'Hara, who finished tied 6th. Scott Fallon was joint 20th, Billy Spooner joint 30th, and they're joined in the all-important top 5 by our joint runner-up, Joe Brooks.
Chris Gain then wins the Eagle Orchid Scottish Masters here at Montrose, shortened to 36 holes. How good was that 10 under par total though, John?
Amazing, really. I mean, the wind is nothing like it is now, obviously, but yeah, he grabbed the ball by the horns and he went out there, he done his thing, and well, what a finish he had though, Kit. I mean, he come down 16, he held a really vital putt at 16 to keep the momentum going. Then obviously he's hit with, you know, back-to-back birdies, 17 and 18, and how vital that proved to become a winner. And obviously now he's at the top of that leaderboard, he's just going to put his foot down on the gas. I know, deep down, in the back of his head, in his heart, he wants that $250,000, and he's going to go for win-win-win, you know, all the way through.
Another superb tournament here.
Brilliant.
Thanks very much, John.
Cheers, mate.
Please join us next week when we're at John's home club, Clevedon.